What up, everybody? In this video, I'm excited because I get to start a new project, and this project is going to be called The Loose Tales. This is going to be the first area or the first dungeon. It's a little 9 by 9 room, and you just kind of go through there. I kind of did some preemptive things, all the long typing, so I could figure out like the collision and the loading of the walls and everything like that. I know it looks kind of goofy right now. We can fix that later, but let's jump into the code. I will show you what I have done so far. So I have created three different files: player and monster, game function, levels, four, I guess, and then the actual game, which will be called Deluxe Adventure. Under my players, I made a parent class so I don't have to retype everything out for every class that I make for like my monsters and my players that I want to add. And then just a simple movement and load myself and then load the movement and stuff onto the screen for my player. And then over here, I have a level 1 or dungeon 1 class. Uh, so this draws out all of my rooms. So it has a north, south, east, west variables. So it knows where it is at and what room. This is how I managed to do my 9 by 9 grid. Um, and this is how it changes the rooms. It will just subtract or add what depending on the direction that we go. And then up here is my walls class. This is the class that I am going to be using for all my wall collision or when I add in doors or anything like that. So this is the walls. This is how I know which wall to draw. And this is the collision for my walls. And then these are all my walls class. So I know if it's like open, there's a doorway, or if it's just a closed wall at the edge. And then I made lists for each of the rooms so it knows which walls to put collision on. And that's basically the basics of it to get it to where we are at the moment. So going forward, I want to show you guys how I add to the game and everything like that. So the first thing I want to do is make a function to show the room that we are in so we don't get lost because it kind of all blends together. So on the showroom, we are going to need the screen and the level so we know what room it is in and what screen to put it on. I created a font already right here. We just called it menu font and we're just using the times and it's going to be 32. So we will go room is equal to we got to go PM menu underscore font dot render, and we will for the text we want this to just say we're going to use something called an F string. This just helps it make it look prettier and I don't have to do a bunch of weird stuff to make it load. So we're just going to call it room, and then we'll do this, and then we're going to go level.r, and that is so it knows which room we are in. It's going to pull from the level that we put in there and it's going to know what room, and then it will load that. So for the anti-alias, we're going to want that true. And then we're going to want this, our color of the font to be black. And we're going to want this in a box. Let's make it kind of fancy. And let's make the box blue. Now we're going to need to make a rectangle because it's always going to need to know like the box and how to place that box onto the screen. So it is going to be room room.rect, and we're just going to say room.getRect, getRect. And then we're going to say we want that to be at the top left corner. And those coordinates of the top left corner is going to be at the top of our screen. So we're going to say 0 and 0 because we just want it at the top of the screen. And then we just simply blit it onto the screen. Okay. So this function should help us know what room we are in as we move through the different rooms, but it's not going to do anything until we put it over here. So this is my main loop or the game function, just like I had in the other game. There's a lots of tutorials teaching you how to set this up with Python and Pygame. If you wanted to follow along, you would have to kind of make or download your own pictures, but the coding aspect of it would be the same if you wanted to try to follow along with me. So anyways, we're going to have to go game function or GF, since I have import game function as GF, or so it's going to pull from this file, and we are just going to go show room, and this is where we tell it the screen, which is going to take this variable and put it in there, and then our level, which we want from our level class, which is LVL. See, import levels as LVL dot level 1. So this is going to know to put it on the screen and pull from our level 1. So if we go ahead and run that, we should see up in the top of our corner now, it says room 1. And if we move down, and that changes, so that will be so much easier to tell what rooms we're in now as we circle through our maze. All right, that's working good. And one last thing I wanted to do on this video is I want to be able to show his name and his how much life and mana and everything like that he has. So when we start adding monsters and objectives to get through these rooms, we can check on our life and everything like that. So let's go back under our game function, and we're going to call this show underscore stats. And we are going to need a couple more variables than the other one. We're going to need, or arguments, excuse me. We're going to need the screen to put it on. Then we're going to need our player that we're reading from. And then we're going to need the keys. And the keys is just the Pygame function of being able to know what button that you press on the keyboard. So we're going to, first we need to make a variable that is menu open, and we're just going to make this equal to 0. And we want a way to be able to change that, so we're going to say if keys, and then inside of here we want to go pygame dot k underscore yeah, that's how it should be. Pygame dot key, is it capital? Let me go back and check really fast in our movement. If keys pygame dot, yeah, see, it should be popping up like this. Okay, well, underscore return. Oh, I know why it's not, because we need to go import pygame, and we need to initialize that pygame import. So just like that. So now it should, there we go. And then if our keys and we hit the enter, we want, and if our menu is open is equal to 0, we want menu open to equal 1. And then this is just so the open and close. If menu, we're going to make this an elif just in case. An elif menu open is equal to 1, and we press it. Then we want the menu to be open back to 0, so it closes equals 0. Okay, so now this is just saying that we want the Pygame enter to change it back and forth between 1 and 0 depending on if we open it. So if it is open, so we will go if menu open is equal to 1, then we want to go text is equal to our menu rpm dot menu font render. Okay, and we do want that. We want to do what they call the F string again, and we want to go name of our player is player name, player dot name. Okay, and now we're going to go like this. F, oops, I don't need the comma yet. Just hit enter and put another F string. We're gonna put health is equal to player dot hit underscore points, and then want to show the mana. Oops, that thing gets in the way sometimes. Okay, and then mana is going to be just player dot mana. Alright, and now we need to tell it a few more things. So we need to say true, and the color, once again, we want to be black. Whoops. Black. I need to spell it right. And then our background color, we want it to be white, so it shows up. Okay, and now one last thing we're going to want to do is this wrap length right here. We want to put that at 160. So as soon as it gets 160 pixels long, it is going to go to a new line and make it all nice neatly in a row. Now that we have all of that, we want to make again our rectangle, and we just need to go equals text dot get underscore rect, and we want to make that the top right corner of our rectangle to be the coordinates, and then we just want that to be the width. But we need to come over here and we need to grab this, and we need to place them there like this just so it knows what I am about to reference. Okay, so we want this to be the width and 0 at the top of the screen. Okay, so now we just need to put that on our screen, text, and text dot on our underscore rect. Okay, so now this is telling it that we want our menu to start off at 0, so it to be closed, and then if we hit the return button, it will switch it to 1, which in turn open our menu, and it will display all of this. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this onto our screen. and let's go gf dot menu show stats. Okay, so for our parameters, we're going to need our screen. We are going to need our player, which is PM at the moment, Josh. And we are going to need the keys, which is up here, Pygame keys dot get pressed. So it knows what keys to press. Let's go ahead and test this. Okay, let's hit our enter button. A little, we have to hold the button down to see it, which is okay. But as you can see, it pops up. It tells us our name, our health, and our mana. So let's go ahead and fix that really fast to make it look a little prettier. Maybe we need to add, let's delete this, and let's add a space or two behind of these. And take this space away. Okay, we're not going to mess with that too much during this video, but we're going to test this one more time. And look at that. Now it says our name, our health, and our mana as soon as we press the enter button. And our room count changes as we move. Alright guys, I think that is going to be the end of this video. I am very excited to be working on this and building this game, putting in monsters in different levels as we go up or down, or even maybe to the overworld, to a town and stuff. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.